All my life, the word Guatemala was an empty room. Now it begins to fill. Purple volcanoes, pink flowers tumbling over walls, a blue bus chugging by, so overcrowded that men hang out the open door. A shoe shine boy, his brown box of supplies at his feet. The colors turn my eyes into kaleidoscopes. It's like Grandma said, you'll see amazing things. We park at an archway that leads to my aunt's front door, and I bite my bottom lip. I hear a yell, Están aquí! Sun warms the top of my head as I step out of the taxi. Then my ears fill with musical voices as people run toward us and start a merry-go-round of hugs. I say hola over and over. It's practically the only greeting I know, but somehow it's all I need. Name after name rolls into the air until a streamer of names seems to drape from one end of the patio to the other. Each person speaks to me in double-speed Spanish and gestures, raised hands, clasped hands, one hand stirring the air. I smile and reply until my cheeks ache from smiling. Paysan, someone shouts. Instead, we stow our luggage as one Tio carries away the coffee table, another shoves the couch against the wall, and within minutes a CD spins and marimba music bounces into the air. Uh-oh, Mimito. But he's just clutching Mom and he doesn't cry. Fingers snap, shoulders shift, hips swing. Spanish words fall like confetti around me. I realize I don't need to know what they all mean. When the song ends, everyone's talking and laughing. My body feels light, buoyed by the room's high spirits. Platters of papaya and mango float toward the dining table over the sea of heads, and one of my tias and a cousin emerge from the crowd to set the platters down between a stack of napkins and a pile of forks. I bite into a mango and wipe the juice from my chin. Mangoes don't taste like this in Texas. Then I look around the table at cousins of varying ages. Maybe I can give them something, I think. I pick up a napkin and start folding. I make a bow tie for each of them and their eyes shine. A boy about 10 keeps meeting my eyes, then looking away. Finally, he says, May the force be with you. English! I guess the whole world knows Star Wars. I flash him a smile. I try Obi-Wan. He cups his hands over his mouth and breathes loudly. Darth Vader! Several voices join mine, and I'm ready to go through the whole character list when Tio Marcos claps and hands a guitar to Dad. Dad grasps the narrow neck, sets the instrument on his knee, and strums with a flourish. His smile reaches his eyes. Tio Marcos has his own guitar too, and the men sit facing one another, adjusting the tuning pegs. When all the strings sound like one guitar, a melody flies up from Dad's fingers. 4 weeks and his fingers haven't forgotten a thing. Tio plays chords and a bass line. I've never heard a guitar duet before, and it leaves me breathless. The harmonies intertwine and cast a spell over the room. The littlest cousins sit still and listen. Even Mimito is rapt. Dad and his brother look at each other and not their guitars. They must have played this song many times. As I watch them, rhythms perfectly in sync, each anticipating the other's strum, something heals inside me. This, this is what my father was trying to give me the day he brought his guitar to my room. I can finally picture him here. Mom's always talked about how he and Tio Marcos started a band. I've heard how Dad shined shoes, played street soccer, and knocked on the door of a famous newspaper columnist just to meet a living writer. Now it all becomes real. A familiar looking woman with long gray braids steps through the open doorway and the music stops abruptly. Dad sets his guitar down and crosses the room in 2 steps. He takes her in his arms. Mama! They share a hug forever, her eyes gleaming brightly. Is she crying? I can't imagine not seeing Mom for years and years in a row. I'd be crying too. People make way for Abuela and offer their seats. She chooses the middle of the couch, and little cousins scramble up to kiss her. I hang back, not knowing if I should approach her. Mom brings Mamito and sits beside her. Abuela's careful not to startle him. She speaks to him in upswinging phrases. At first, he burrows into Mom's shirt, but soon he turns his head to watch Abuela. Finally, he reaches out to touch her braid. She hands its end to him and says something that makes everyone chuckle. Then her eyes search the room and find me. Abuela, I say, hoping my one word is enough. Ben acá. She stands and spreads her arms wide, and after a strong hug, she takes both of my hands in hers. Quijana, she says. Mi Kianita. I breathe in her rosewater scent as she studies my face. Como la mía, she says, which immediately translates in my head to like mine. And it's true, her nose is the shape of mine, her face the same oval. She sits on the couch past a tiny space next to her. I thought I would be nervous when this moment came, but all my jitters melt in her warmth. Putting her arm around me, she gives a little squeeze, then notices my necklace. She holds it in her palm and tilts her hand to make the color shimmer. Que bonita! How pretty. What is mermaid in Spanish, I wonder? She answers my unspoken questions. Serena. She nods toward the mermaid and meets my eyes. Serena, I repeat. Mermaid. I pronounce the word slowly. Mermaid, she says back. De tu abuela Miller. From your grandma Miller. A mist springs to my eyes. She must have heard the story from Dad. I nod, not trusting my voice. Muy especial. Very special. Her eyes pour love into mine. I'm relieved that I've been able to understand her so far, but I can see that words don't matter as much as I thought. I feel like I've known her for years. In Mom's arms, Mamito's eyes keep closing. Dad comes to stroke his hair. Mientras estoy dormido, yo nunca tengo miedo. I recognize the quote from Don Quixote. While I'm asleep, I'm never afraid. His words bring back Grandma Miller's message. Don't let fear narrow your life. That's what she said when I complained about coming here. I remember thinking I would hate Guatemala. I look around at the friendly faces, como la mía, and feel Abuela's warm hand on my shoulder. I don't hate it. I feel like a place where I could belong. Mom and Dad start down the hall to put Mamito to bed. The guitar lies against the arm of the couch. An idea flashes. Dad, wait. Everybody looks at me. I try to stay confident. Quiero cantar para usted, I said, looking at Abuela. I want to sing for you. I pull the guitar onto my knee and try out the strings. They're metal, which means they're stiff and hard to press, but I try my three chords. They come out clear, and the room hushes. I take a deep breath and start. I know my song is a little cheesy, but the words take on new meanings, saying them to Abuela. The more I know you, the more I want to know you. And when you fix your eyes on me, I feel my heart expand, fly free. Without your love, I'm incomplete. Togetherness makes life more sweet. Your life inspires, I want to bloom. A better me lights up this room. The more I know you, the more I want to know you more. Me encanta! Abuela clasps her hands in front of her heart. Dad's eyes dance. Me gusta mucho tu canción, Abuela says. Her smiles light up the last dark place inside of me. I want to be nowhere in the world but here. A late supper brings savory scents from the kitchen, and in the kitchen doorway two older cousins, a boy and a girl, stand patting tortillas and flipping them from one hand to the other. ¿Puedes hacer tortillas, Quijana? He asks if I can make tortillas. I think back to Tia Lencha's and Maribel teaching me how to use enough water to shape the harina. See, I say, standing up. I can.